The campaign is going very well, and thank you for the opportunity of talking with you today, Howard. It's an honor for me to be a candidate running for the state Senate this year. We have traveled across the 70 miles that is this New York State Senate 61 district extensively, being very mindful of social distancing and all the COVID requirements, but going into the communities from Amherst all the way across to Rochester, including Genesee County and all of the towns and villages within Genesee County, learning about the issues, the needs, and the concerns of this community. My focus is going to be on all of the 61st Senate District and primarily agricultural and rural issues and protecting our farmers and making sure that New York State is prioritizing their needs and not working against them. I've always worked across the aisle, working in a bipartisan manner in my work as a county legislator, and I'm proud of the work I've accomplished with Republicans, Democrats, and people of any ideology. My concern has always been the needs of the community. It's always been the priorities of delivering for the residents that I've represented. This is a very diverse district with rural and agricultural issues at the forefront for the bulk of the geography of this district. I've accomplished many things that are bipartisan, such as partnering with our farms, partnering with our rural and agricultural communities on their needs and concerns, such as rural broadband. I've been a strong advocate for getting high-speed internet access into all of our rural and agricultural communities. I'm also adamantly opposed to the farm death bill, which is working against our farmers and not giving them the prioritization and the access to labor that they need. So I'm proud of the work I've done working across the aisle. This is, for me, a race in which I think the needs of all of the residents of the 61st Senate District need to be prioritized: urban, suburban, rural, and agricultural. And my county legislature district mirrors that right now, and I'll carry that same advocacy to Albany. I have an adage that I stand by in government that reasonable people with reasonable ideas can come to reasonable solutions. That's what we need coming out of Albany right now, is some practical ideas and strategies that are representative of all of New York State. In many ways right now we have an agenda that is focused very much so on New York City and downstate priorities, not paying attention to upstate issues, not paying attention to the rural farming and agricultural issues right here in Genesee County. We need to make sure that people understand that farming is the #1 industry in New York State. Over $50 billion a year in the farming and the agricultural industry, and it's the largest employer across New York State. Albany needs to get its head on straight and start focusing on our farmers and not New York City. Well, I think we all need to take coronavirus seriously. We all need to do our part to be making sure that we are flattening and lowering the curve per se. The coronavirus is a pandemic like something none of us have ever experienced before. So I'd encourage people to do what they can to do their part. We all know the rules of engagement with wearing masks and social distancing, so let's make sure that we take care of that because the sooner that we get out of this COVID-19, the more we can get back to normal, which is focusing on our state government taking care of the residents of all of our communities, particularly the 61st Senate District. For sure. I think that someone needs an extensive experience in government to be able to take care of the complex needs of the 61st Senate District. I have been a county legislator for 13 years, and in many ways county government is a crossroads of every level of government, working with our towns and villages as well as the state and federal officials. And my district mirrors very closely the Senate 61 district. So I've been focused on farms, focused on rural communities, focused on agriculture, as well as historic villages, suburban communities, as well as urban areas. So you have my word, as your next state senator, I will deliver on your issues, deliver on your needs, listen to your concerns, and advocate for them. Because right now, agriculture and farming is not prioritized out of Albany. The agenda that's coming out of Albany is being fulfilled for special interests, The farm death bill is a great example of that, where farmers don't have access to labor. They have regulations that are restricting their businesses and making it that much more difficult for them to make a profit and survive. So we need champions and advocates for agriculture and farming in Albany, and I will be that for the 61st Senate District. Well, my response is that we have checks and balances and a two-party system that has been the foundation of our country since its inception. And we need to have a balanced discussion where all issues are taken into account and all perspectives are weighed before we come to any decisions on legislation or major changes to policy in New York State. Let me give you an example. The elimination of cash bail was something that was passed rapidly through Albany without reviewing with law enforcement, without reviewing with the judiciary, and it was passed, and we now have our communities which are significantly less safe because of the elimination of cash bail. That's an example, like many others, where we need to go back to the drawing board, spend time working with all interests and all stakeholders, specifically law enforcement, to make sure that the law is drawn up properly, and it's also making sure that it prioritizes law enforcement, but also gives everyone who has an interest in this issue a seat at the table. So my philosophy when it comes to government is working with an open hand and collaborating with people from any ideology and any political perspective, but also understanding that upstate's issues are very different from the downstate agenda that we're seeing right now. I've been a strong advocate in the work I've done in county government. I want to take that exact same leadership, focus, and tenacity to Albany, where I will represent you and I will stand up for your best interests right here in Genesee County. Sure, I'm proud to be a candidate running for the State Senate 61st District this year. My name is Ed Rath. I have traveled across this district and I have heard the issues and the concerns of the people of Genesee County as well as the people across this vast district. The needs and the concerns are vast. I am a strong advocate for agricultural and rural issues. I'm a strong advocate for farmers. I have visited farms. I've done agricultural tours talking to the farmers about their concerns with the farm death bill. I have sat down in their barns as well as in their offices in the winter, the spring, the summer, and the fall, learning about what we can do in Albany to raise our voice and stand up in favor of our farms and our rural communities. So you have my word. I will advocate for you. I ask for your vote on November 3rd, for I will be the leader that is going to represent you in Albany. Thank you.